All right, the third drawing is going to be, or the third part is going to be the wheel. So I'm going to start a new part, make sure that I am in inch pound second. And the wheel can be done in a couple of different ways. I'm going to do the wheel starting from the right plane and starting a new sketch. And I'm going to use the circle tool. Start at the origin, drag it out, and I'm going to use the whole entire diameter here of 3 inches. So smart dimension, 3 inches, and then I'm going to draw another circle for the hole. And that inner hole is going to have a diameter of 1/2 inch. So with that, I'm going to exit the sketch. And as I do an extruded boss base, instead of using a blind condition for direction 1, I'm going to change it to mid-plane. And that's going to basically give me thickness on both sides. So the thickness of this is 3/4 of an inch, so 0.75. So it basically cuts it in half and does 0.375 on one side and 0.375 on the other side. Green check. All right, so that gives me a solid disc. Okay, the next part, I'm going to start a sketch on this plane. And again, I'm going to draw 2 circles starting from the origin. 1, starting from the origin, 2. And I'm going to smart dimension the outer circle at 2.7 and the inner circle at 3/4, 0.750. And then exit sketch. Okay, so with this, I'm going to do an extruded cut. That extruded cut, I don't want to go all the way in, all right, but according to the plans, it goes in 0.125. All right, so that's going to drop in by 0.125. I'm going to green check, and that gives me that face that is inset on the wheel. Now I have the same feature on the other side, okay, and which is why when I created my boss extrusion, I used mid-plane. So I'm going to use the mirror feature to basically copy over that feature. So it's recognizing cut extrude 1 as the features to mirror, and the mirror face or the mirror plane is going to be the right plane, right, because it's right in the center, and that's basically mirroring that whole feature about the right plane. Confirm it, and I've just mirrored my features on both sides. Okay, so the next part is creating the slots. The slots go on the inside surface or on the inside face of the wheel. So for that face, we have to create the sketch, and I'm going to hit the space bar and normal 2, and I'm going to use the slot tool to create a slot, and we have to make sure to change the slot option to one of the curved slots. So we have to make sure we pick the right one. It's a 3-point arc or a center point arc. So I'm probably going to use the center point arc slot. And looking at the little diagram here, we can see that the center point is going to be number 1. Then the first radius will be point number 2. The second radius, point number 3. And then expanding it out is click number 4. So I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to go click 1 on the center. I'm going to click 2. And I got to go this way. Sometimes it's, there we go. You have to make sure that the line is going in the correct direction. So this is going to be click number 3, and then expand out for click number 4. Okay, and basically now I can use my Smart Dimension tool to make sure that all of these elements are correct. So this radius is a radius of 1, and the radius of the actual slot itself is 1/4 inch, so 0.250. And then I also want to make sure that these points are at the right spot. So I'm going to draw a center line from the origin, make sure that it's horizontal. And Smart Dimension from the center line to the point. Nope, that's not going to work. So I have to use another center line going from the point to the origin. And I'm going to go back out to that point. So use my Smart Dimension to go from center line to center line. And that first one is 22.5 degrees. And then from center line to center line, and that one is going to be 45 degrees. And this first slot is set. Exit the sketch, extrude cut, make sure that it goes through all, and then I'm going to create a circular pattern. So go up to Line Pattern under the Features tab, Circular Pattern. It recognizes features and faces as cut extrude number 2, which is this hole. And then the direction, I basically pick any circular feature. Okay, and I change the number of instances to 4. They're equally spaced. Green check. And you have your wheel. Save the file as part 3, and the description is wheel, and save the part.